Are you gonna?
No, you
Just
do
like
all the
your
intros now. Remember?
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. This is Jeff. Hello.
This is David. Hi.
I'm sorry. I have to Salvatore. This is Jeff.
This is
Yeah.
David. And ignore
Hello,
this.
David.
Ignore the screen tearing. BlueStacks is just abysmal to record off of. This is a game I'm recommending.
Yeah. What is it? BlueStacks. This implies Android game, right?
Yes, this is a mobile game. Our talk of mobile games in horrible tutorials and UIs is just come back. So this is Weird Johnny Studios. Swoosh.
Mm-hmm.
Swoosh. Look at that portrait.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we don't have to go over the dialogue as it's happening. It's fairly generic.
Sure.
But it's going to be on screen for a second. English, I believe this is a Polish studio, so the English is not amazing.
Okay.
But I would like to point out that this game does tutorials really well just in general, but for a mobile game, it's a masterclass. You know why?
Nice.
That tooltip popped up, and I don't have to click it. Normally, actually, that one I did because it unlocked the map area.
Okay.
But a lot of the tooltips that pop up, they don't freeze the game. They don't take control away from you. It's like, hey, you didn't do anything for a while. Find enemy, and I'm like, I'm going to turn the sounds down because the sounds are way too loud.
It happens.
Yeah, but also just look
I
at
did
the
want
art.
to ask about the. It's very cute. I did want to ask about the translation. Is the translation distracting or is
No.
it good enough?
It's good enough.
Okay.
You train when you attack. So you'll see up at the top left, you got that little sword icon, 2 of 24, 3 of 24. Now you'll notice that this game,
Eh.
you got your,
I assume that's what
yeah.
that's what Boyd is saying.
the rats ate my breakfast again, my trustworthy companion Sir Stick, which the baby in the crib had Sir Stick in the crib, which I thought was a nice touch. And hey, that tooltip popped up when I was in the menu. It didn't stop me. It didn't freeze anything. It's great. Also, like, just playing the game, you kind of get a feel for things just as they happen. You're like, oh, so that orange bar charging up is how long it takes me to start an attack. Okay. And then the gray is the attack executing. Great. Awesome. The music is fine. I generally have the music off because I'm listening to things.
Sure.
But, Return to Dad. Also, I will say how items come out of enemies in this game is the best. Every game should do this. Because it tells you how many items you can have and what the rarity of the drop is. Because it's like...
And there's little dice popped
Yep.
out.
And the more...
like represent the actual percentages, or is it random
It's...
dice effects?
It is a range depending on the dice. I don't remember the range off the top of my head, but like the more sides on the dice, the less likely it is. Buy Dad's juice.
So it's correlated.
But yeah, so now there's a lot of...
This is definitely a person that constantly is...
So there's a lot of story at the beginning, and then there's not a ton outside of just environmental storytelling kind of stuff. Sell stuff. Notice you just spend money to get more inventory slots. You don't have to unlock
nice.
bags.
You don't have to pull a gacha machine that costs 99 cents.
Nope.
Is there an actual ending to the game, or is it one of
Yes.
kind of just
There-
the number goes up?
There
forever?
is an ending to this is a kind of a run-based game, but kind of not. It's not random in the sense it's like, oh, what perks are you going to get? We'll see that in a second. But every item has a description. Also, Dad's dead. Sorry, Dad.
Oh,
Yeah.
you hate to see it.
But
Sad boy.
yeah, it's a sad boy.
Well, I mean, he still looks really happy, but
Yeah.
internally, I'm sure that he's
And
very
then-
broken up about that. Yeah,
that picture just
this
I'm fine.
combination of
I'm tough.
picture and they're like, Here's what it is on the outside. That's the middle, and then the interior is in the bottom left.
So there are runs. Essentially, there is an ending you can reach, but it's kind of a loop situation. Once you reach the ending, you get to go for another run, and there are incentives. I'll go over to do more runs. But you see, he gave you items. They come out the same way. Anytime anyone gives you items, that's how they come out. So you get a shield, and you get a wooden sword. And you'll notice you've got all these pictures. Oh, hey, it tells you the formula it uses.
Ooh,
it tells you what they mean.
Formulas with icons.
Yes. And armor and defense and percentage block chance. And it's like,
that is very nice.
Yeah. And I don't understand
if
all
I'm
the formulas.
Play a game where numbers go up, I want to know exactly how the numbers go
And
up.
this introduces ranged enemies where you have to run up to hit them. So it takes longer before your orange will start filling. But if they're further from you, they have to get closer to you to hit you. So, like, there are things about that. Now, it says tap the block button right before the enemy attack. That is a lie. You just tap it, and it puts a shield in front of you that 100% blocks all physical damage. Guaranteed. It breaks instantly, but it's a guaranteed block.
Okay.
And that's what block chance is. So the shields, almost all shields give a flat defense, which is a percentage cut. And then they give you a certain chance to just be able to negate damage. It's awesome. It's a compelling way to add difference. So this is what happens when you run out of HP.
Our boy has died.
Yeah, well, he just gets knocked out. And then it's like, go train rats. So I do train on rats for a little bit. We're not going to watch all of it. But this is the slingshot. So this is the first ranged weapon you get. And
anything can be ammunition.
Yes, anything. But that's just the game's way of
saying.
That's the game's way of saying.
It's not anything.
It's not anything. That's the game's way of saying it has infinite ammo. Because for bows, which are the other ranged option, you have to use ammo. You have to use arrows, obviously. So, yeah, and you can see the arrow is going up slowly. And I don't remember. Oh, yeah, I cut to here. It didn't work. I didn't train enough.
Okay.
I thought
I
had
more rats.
I need more rats. But let's
need to go back to rats.
Let's take a look at the map. Look at this map. Every single square, every single lock icon you see on this map is a different space you can go, and all of them are unique.
Sure.
And all of them are great.
It's very Legend of Zelda, like Link to the Past, Link's Awakening style.
Right. Now you unlock these areas by beating a certain number of enemies. Oh, hey, I leveled up. And that's why I turned the volume down, because if you don't turn the volume down, that is deafening. Now here, we talked
I've
about...
been playing Witch Spring 3, and the opening titles of that game has an ear-splitting sound effect for the company logo that does not respect your volume settings. So I have to take off my headphones lest I be jump scared when I go back to the main menu.
Yeah. So this is your sphere grid.
Get it.
So we talked about Salt and Sacrifice being like a bad level up system. This is good because you can tell by color and shape immediately what everything is. Or you can just click on it and see.
Better. Does it still have like the problem of a lot of them just being basic number up skill nodes?
They do. A lot of them are basic number up or number down depending on what you're going for nodes. But it is a lot easier to see like, oh, I want to work on the amount of time it takes me to attack. Oh, the circle for that is down there, so I can make my way down there. And there are a bunch of nodes on there that are unique abilities as well.
A game I played recently that had that same system, it was truly an okay game. It was Wayfinders. Their equivalent of the slightly bloated skill tree
Mhm.
with nodes was at least color and icon coded. So you're like, okay, these are all the crit chance ones. All right, I'll just get those.
Yeah. Also, practice makes perfect is essentially this game in a nutshell. And I'm having to sell things individually right now, but once you get enough inventory slots, it does unlock a sell all your loot. So like the rat tails or stuff like that is only there to be sold.
Okay, you don't have like a set to trash.
No, but you
system.
generally don't need it. Oh yeah, a little talking fly. Hey, it's the fairy.
It's a grumpy fairy. Grumpy fairy.
The Asuradian fairy, or Asuradian, or I don't know another way to say that. They're from Azeroth. So the fairy
How
is
about an Azaridian?
Azuridian. There we go. The fairy.
Azradian?
Oh, there you go. The
Run out.
the Asgard fairy is the only monetization in this mobile game. There is nothing else. There are no ads other than this, and you can either pay a flat rate for whatever that perk
It says
is.
it right there. Star.
Yeah.
Only monetization. I think.
Yeah.
Very good.
And it's the only monetization. Like auto consumable is you set a percentage and it'll use a consumable whenever you hit that level. But the big thing is you can either pay a flat rate or just watch an ad to get 30 minutes of whatever that perk is. All right, that's also how crits work. The little thing pops up and you have to hit it. Now, there's a skill you can get that gets rid of that and they just automatically work. But also, here's a tactic. Okay, he's in range now. Switch to my melee weapons so my shield's effective. Because he's hitting me with a broken glass bottle. But that's
does seem a little mean. You are a
child.
Child.
Yes. Yeah. But I'm going to eat this cheese. I did buy some
is it
shoes.
paused while you're going through the
No.
backpack?
No. The only way to
it's all real time.
the only way to pause combat is to hit the flag. The only thing I will say I dislike about this game is every area has a spread of enemies that you can fight. And if you're looking for a specific enemy, you just have to initiate combat until an enemy shows up. And if it's the wrong one, turn it off, turn it back on. And like right now, that takes a while, but there is a skill that makes it go faster. That's like on the path to a bunch of other things you want anyway, so you're gonna get it. So this is what a new game is like.
You got some rags.
Got a rotten shirt. It's moldy, but it's one defense.
Is it better than nothing though?
Yes.
It seems
so.
like
You'll notice that's 45. That's 656 hours of playtime. So this is where my character is on my current run, because the way it incentivizes you to do more runs. Also, Game of Thrones reference right there. Here's my favorite NPC. He's the druid. Remember,
Nathan Yaffe.
practice makes you exhausted. I did pay for a couple of things because
Okay,
I like the game.
Fairy armor.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I should turn the music back up.
Okay, okay.
But this is like
What we have here is an example of the system settings being saved along with the slot.
Yeah. So
off.
This is
that was before we started recording.
This is your inherent evil powering your soul. Don't worry about that. This is where the sphere grid is at this point. All the big things in the center of the nodes are like a flat 20% more, 10% more, 30% reduction. This is my inventory at the moment. Yeah.
A lot of steak?
Dark steak. Yeah, it was a thing.
Dark steak. Okay.
So then we've got this is my favorite screen in the game. Just drink it in. She teaches you a spell. There aren't many NPCs. They all do something important. But you see these grasshoppers. They're fighting. They're training. There's a bigger grasshopper leaning in the back.
It's like that perfume sprinkling on it occasionally.
Yeah. So that's my favorite screen in the whole game. I'm not going to show too much of the screens and everything. This is just like, hey, there's different music. I'm not going to show too many screens in the whole game other than to say they're all great. And finding out what enemies are in the screen and what they drop is like half the fun of your first run. Also, some screens have this like little interactable element where you click on that guy enough and he's like, hey, drink to that. Drinks, puts his hat back on. Loop done.
Also looks like Nathan Yaffe.
A little bit.
There's a lot of Nathans in this game.
A little bit. Now, with the spells you see in the bottom left, if you click and hold, you auto-cast them as quickly as you can. So a lot of this game comes down to balancing spells, close range, and long range. I don't remember that character's name from Game of Thrones because, oh yeah, the little bubbles that pop out of your head at the beginning, there's like a bubble every now and then. It's based on your regen. So, hey, I just got like all these bubbles, got to touch the bubbles. Bubbles come out. Bubbles come out. I also meant to cut from here.
Click and drag.
Yeah, just click and grab.
You just got too excited about the bubbles. Okay.
Or if you're, playing on your phone, you just hold your finger above his head and you just auto pop them. But there are 5 spells in the game. Won't spoil what the last one is, but you can guess what all of them do based on the picture. There's also a spell book, and it'll tell you the math behind all of them. This is a boss monster that you can fight. There are a lot of them in the game, and all of them take a slightly different trick to beat. But almost everything in the game you can overcome by making number bigger.
It looks like it has regen? The green numbers?
No, the green number is the poison.
Are those poison? Okay,
you see next to his health bar, he's got those two little...
Regen.
He's got those 2 little timers ticking down.
Yeah.
Those are from 2 poisons.
Those are 2 different procs of poison.
And I just threw a third one. So also all the spell effects.
I'm definitely seeing that as healing.
All of the spell effects, like the lightning stuns, the poisons, they hit 100% of the time. There's no missing. So it's always a good idea to use it if it's a boss with a lot of health. And so, like, oh, it hit me for 899, but I'd block. I eat some meat. I drink a potion. Like, it's dark meat. I think it's dark steak. Dark meat's a different thing.
Dark steak. It's like dark steak.
But so this is like figuring out the puzzles for some of these fights is cool. Also, those 2d20s low spawn right there. But
does this have a portrait mode, or is it all landscape?
It's all landscape, which I also appreciate. All right, now we're going to see my favorite enemy in the game. This is this guy. Look at his eyeball falls down and he licks it back up into place. Also, I will say they're still updating this game. It is essentially, it's finished. It's a finished game, but they just added another square and 4 new enemies. And we're going to watch this guy.
We're just going to slice off another little zoom in. And that, look at that little...
this is our vista.
Little guy. This is our vista. Very good. Did you want to do the outro, or you're gonna throw that to me?
I'm throwing that to you.
Okay. If you enjoy what we do here, talk about video games, playing video games, looking at these little goobers, these little guys, you can support us on Patreon. You can also help us doing the YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe, etc. Bells notification. I don't know if they still do that, but whenever you're watching this in whatever year, whatever the thing is that's around the window that you can click on, just do it. That's fine. That does help us. It makes it easier for us to make more of these. Do appreciate y'all watching the videos.
Hero Tale.
Little goobers.
Bam. 20 minutes.
Look at that.
Woo.
In and out.